Australia takes action in Iraq. Tony Abbott joins us live. We'll ask him about the decision to send our troops and transport planes to the war zone.
Bushwalker rescue mission. 2 teens set to be helicoptered to safety after a night stranded in the New South Wales Blue Mountains.
Hit and run hunt. Victoria police search for the driver who fled the scene of a fatal crash.
Heart drug breakthrough. The new treatment that could save thousands of Australians every year.
Royal ride. Kate and William catch the train back to London after a holiday break, but where's baby George?
And get ready to win. The block of cash giveaway rolls on.
A very good morning to all across this wonderful country of ours. It's Monday, the 1st of September, and ouch! So violent, so early.
That was a pinch and a punch.
Oh.
First of the month. Yeah, and first day of spring. Have you gone soft while you've been away?
I'm going to wear my tan off.
You'll be fine. It's fake anyway.
Just rub that a little bit.
Oh, he's been showing off his muscles. Have you been to Muscle Beach or somewhere? You're right there.
That's the only muscle that was being used, that one.
Was it?
Holiday injury.
Did you have a good break?
Holiday injuries.
Send us your photos.
How did you injure yourself on holidays?
You had a good break?
Yeah, it was a good break.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You look well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tone it down a bit, would you?
One day, that'll do me.
Yeah, you'll be fine by Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly.
Good to have you back.
Good
morning, Sylvia.
Good to be here. Happy Monday.
Hey, Ben.
Looking very fresh, mate.
It does.
Very fresh.
I had some work done.
Too fresh.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Just the forehead.
Refreshed.
All this stuff.
Features there that I don't recognise.
Yeah, well.
I've got some new personalities too for you.
Oh, good.
And no doubt we'll see all of them
17.
unfold over the
Hola.
course of the show this morning. Let's take a quick look at your Monday springtime weather. In Brisbane, mostly sunny. Sydney, mostly sunny as well. A little bit of rain about in Melbourne. Also some rain for Hobart. Adelaide, early rain and then showers heading your way. Perth, partly cloudy, and Darwin, beautiful sunshine.
Plenty happening on this Monday morning. Sylvia's got all the details now with the news. Hey,
There is plenty happening indeed. Carl, Lisa, good morning. Good morning to you at home. First to Iraq. It's been revealed elite SAS teams will be on the RAAF planes, which will land in the country's north to hand over weapons, deepening Australia's involvement in the crisis. It comes amid growing political backlash this morning as the Prime Minister refuses to rule out further action. Let's go straight to Nine's Charles Croucher in Canberra. Charles, Australia's involvement is clearly growing. What more can you tell us at this point?
It is, Sylvia. Good morning to you. Well, the Prime Minister has all along ruled out a boots-on-the-ground style mission in Iraq and Syria, but it appears we'll at least have special forces on the ground for a very brief time, a security measure, as arms are handed over to Kurdish fighters in northern Iraq. Yesterday, Tony Abbott and Defence Force Chief Mark Binskin announced that further air assistance had been requested by the United States, and that will involve C-130 Hercules and C-17 Globemaster planes carrying weapons provided by European nations. Now, there are some details emerging about what those weapons will be this morning, with reports that rocket-propelled grenades will be among the arsenal. It's also important to know that these will be delivered rather than dropped, so the planes will have to land. Now, Labor has given the government bipartisan support for the mission, but there remains rumblings among the Greens and Independent MP Andrew Wilkie, and they're actually calling for a full debate on involvement in northern Iraq when Polly's returned to Parliament here this morning. Now, one other note, Bill Shorten yesterday said that the government has provided Labor with a full briefing, but wouldn't go into further details on strategies discussed. Now, that does imply there'll be more humanitarian drops, potentially more handovers, and even Australian support for further airstrikes against ISIL targets in northern Iraq and Syria. Sylvia?
Charles, thank you. 2 teenage bushwalkers who spent the night stranded in New South Wales Blue Mountains will be winched to safety at first light this morning. A search operation found the pair late last night, with both suffering minor injuries and hypothermia.
The girl went in there without a jacket, no water, and this has caused probably a lot of their injuries with the hypothermia and dehydration.
The father of one of the teenagers initially went into the bush to find them and went missing himself before being found by rescue crews. We'll go to our reporter at the scene a little later. Returning overseas, in another development in Iraq, government forces have reached a town in the country's north where thousands have been trapped by Islamic extremists. The Iraqi military says it's now broken the siege of Amerli. The apparent breakthrough comes after the US carried out airstrikes on ISIL targets near the town. Australian aircraft also delivered 15 bundles of aid to isolated locals. Suspected British terrorists will be temporarily banned from returning to the UK following a controversial new crackdown proposed by Prime Minister David Cameron. The new terror package will be unveiled tomorrow and comes just days after terror threat levels in the country were raised to severe amid fears that an attack in Britain is highly likely. A Melbourne driver is on the run this morning following a shocking fatal crash that claimed the life of a taxi driver. Police say the taxi was rear-ended by another vehicle at Brighton East, and as the driver got out and stood behind the car, he was hit by a third vehicle, crushing him between the two. The driver of the third car, a Mitsubishi Colt, fled the scene. Police are appealing for witnesses to come forward. The Queensland Premier claims crime has dropped in the state thanks to his government's tough anti-gang laws. This week, Campbell Newman's bikie legislation will be challenged in the High Court amid claims the laws undermine the integrity of the courts and deny freedom of speech. Mr Newman insists the crackdown is working.